Hello, my dear students of Standard 9. How are you? This is your chemistry class. Dear students, we are talking about Chapter 4, Periodic Table. We had learnt history of periodic table, characteristics of periodic table, and also the position of the elements in the periodic table. Today, in this class, we will learn periodic properties. Dear students, what is periodic properties? You know, elements have some special properties. Melting point, boiling point, metallic properties, non-metallic properties. That means an element is metal or non-metal. Its size, all these properties are called periodic properties. And all these properties have a regular change in the period and group of periodic table. Now look, the elements in the periodic table have some properties like metallic properties, non-metallic properties, atomic radius, ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, etc. And these properties are called periodic properties. Today, in this class, we will learn some of these periodic properties. Periodic properties of the elements in the periodic table repeated periodically. Repeated periodically means these properties have a gradual change in the same period and group. Look here. Here there are some properties, periodic properties. Here the change of these properties are shown in the periodic table. Here look, atomic radius, these properties gradually increases from right to left. Dear students, this arrow sign means it gradually increases. It gradually increases from right to left means it gradually decreases from left to right. In the same way, atomic radius gradually increases from top to bottom. Ionization energy gradually increases from left to right. And ionization energy gradually decreases from top to bottom, because here it's shown that it increases from bottom to top. Electron affinity, it gradually increases from left to right, and it gradually decreases from top to bottom. Now, all these properties, the change of the properties, we will learn in this class. So, at first, metallic property. Metallic property means the element is metal or non-metal. The metallic property, if the metallic property is more for an element, then the element is metal, and if the metallic property is less for an element, then the element is non-metal. Now, all you know what is metal. Elements which are glossy produce metallic sound when struck, and conductor of heat and electricity are called metals. And the elements that can donate one or more electrons and turn into positive ions are called metals. This is the modern definition of metal. The elements that can donate one or more electrons, because metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons on the outermost shell, so they can donate 1, 2 or 3 electrons and they turn into positively charged ion. This is the modern definition of metals. Look here, sodium, after releasing 1 electron, it becomes sodium ion, Na+. Calcium, after releasing 2 electrons, become calcium 2+ ion. Aluminium, after releasing 3 electrons, become aluminium 3+ ion. So all they are metal, and they have also the properties like this. This property to donate electron by metal is called metallic property. Now look, metallic property, it decreases from left to right. That means the left side elements are metal and the right side elements are non-metal. Metallic property gradually decreases from left to right, and metallic property gradually increases from top to bottom. That top elements, here the metallic properties are less and it gradually increases for the bottom elements. So what is the group relation here? In the same group, metallic property gradually increases from top to bottom. Dear students, I am telling again, these are groups. These vertical lines, there are total 18 groups, and these horizontal lines, they are periods. There are total 7 periods. So group relation means from here to here. Metallic property gradually increases from top to bottom. And if you consider the elements of first, second or third group, then all they are metals. Metallic property gradually increases, but you cannot explain by showing these elements because all they are metals. And the elements of 16, 17, 18, all they are non-metals. So you cannot explain the metallic property by using these elements also. But we can take the elements of middle group. Suppose the elements of 14 group where there are present carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Here look, carbon, it is a non-metal. Silicon, it is also non-metal. Germanium, it is semi-metal. Semi-metal means the element which has some metallic property and some non-metallic property. It is called semi-metal or submetal. Tin, all you know, tin is a metal, and lead, it is also metal. That means here metallic property gradually increases from top to bottom. So group relation, in the same group, metallic property gradually increases from top to bottom. And what is the periodic relation? That is from left to right, what type of change occurs here? In the same period, metallic property gradually decreases from left to right. In the same period, metallic property gradually decreases. That means here the first elements are metal and gradually it turns to non-metal. So metallic property gradually decreases from left to right. If we take the elements of third period, there are sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. We will see that sodium, magnesium, they are metal. Aluminium is also metal, but it has also some non-metallic property. Silicon, it is non-metal. Phosphorus, non-metal. Sulfur, non-metal. Chlorine, argon, all they are non-metal. So metallic property gradually decreases from left to right. It is the periodic relation. In this way, we can explain the all periodic property. What type of changes occurred in the group and also in the period. Now, our second property is non-metallic property. It is just opposite of metallic property. Metallic property, that means from metal to non-metal, and non-metallic property, that means from non-metal to metal. Here, elements which are not glossy don't produce metallic sound when struck, and non-conductor of heat and electricity are called non-metals. And modern definition tells that the elements that can accept one or more electrons and turn into negatively charged ions are called non-metals. That means non-metals have 5, 6 or 7 electrons on the outermost shell, so they can accept electron and they turn into negatively charged ions. So they are called non-metals. For example, fluorine, it accepts 1 electron and becomes fluoride ion. Oxygen, it accepts 2 electrons and becomes oxide ion, O2- ion. Chlorine, it accepts 1 electron and becomes Cl- chloride ions. And this property to accept electron by non-metals is called non-metallic property. Now we will see what type of change of non-metallic property occurs in the period and in the group. Here look. increasing metallic character from top to bottom, that means increasing non-metallic character from bottom to top. That means non-metallic character gradually decreases from top to bottom. Dear students, when we will explain the periodic property, then we will explain from left to right and from top to bottom. So which is increased from bottom to top, that means it decreases from top to bottom. Now group relation. In the same group, non-metallic property gradually decreases from top to bottom. In the same group, non-metallic property gradually decreases from top to bottom. The same example we can show, because for the 14th group, carbon, it is non-metal, silicon non-metal, germanium, it is submetal, tin metal, lead metal. That means the non-metallic property gradually decreases. Metallic property gradually increases means non-metallic property gradually decreases. And period relation, in the same period, non-metallic property gradually increases. Look, increasing non-metallic property from left to right. Non-metallic property increases means the first left side there are metals and gradually it turns to non-metals. So in the same period, non-metallic property gradually increases from left to right. For the third period, we can show it sodium, magnesium, and gradually the non-metallic property becomes increased. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium, they are metal. Silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, they are non-metal. So non-metallic property gradually increases from left to right. Now, semi-metal or submetal. Already I had told that. What is semi-metal or submetal? Some elements are there which sometimes behave like metal and sometimes behave like non-metals. They are called semi-metal or submetals. The elements that sometimes donate electrons and sometimes accept electrons are called submetals. This is the modern definition of submetals. In the periodic table, the left side groups are metal, already we learned that, and the middle groups are submetal and the right side groups are non-metal. That means the elements which have some properties like metal and some properties like non-metals, they are called semi-metal or submetal. The middle groups are semi-metal or submetal. Look here, the left side they are metal, the right side they are non-metals, and you know the 18 group, this is inert gas, and the middle, this is semi-metal. There are these middle as this boron, silicon also, it has some properties like metal and some properties like non-metal. Germanium, these are semi-metal. Now our third property, melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point, you know the temperature at which an element melts is called melting point, and the temperature at which an element boils is called boiling point. Melting point and boiling point is also a periodic property. And what is the group relation? That means what type of change is occurred in the same group for melting point and boiling point. In the group, there are some exception. That means melting point and boiling point, the change of melting point and boiling point occurs for metal and non-metal in different way. Look here, for metals in the same group, melting point and boiling point gradually decreases from top to bottom. For metals in the same group, melting point and boiling point gradually decreases from top to bottom. For example, if you take the first group, then the melting point and boiling point of lithium is the highest, then sodium, potassium, cesium, and francium has the least melting point and boiling point. But for non-metals, For non-metals in the same group, melting point and boiling point gradually increases from top to bottom. It is opposite of metal. For example, we can take the elements of 17 group. That means fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, where the melting point and boiling point of fluorine is the least and iodine is the highest. Iodine has the highest melting point and boiling point. Dear students, you know fluorine and chlorine, they are gaseous. Bromine, it is liquid, and iodine, it is solid. That means melting point and boiling point gradually increases from top to bottom. So melting point and boiling point in the group, it is different for metal and non-metal. For metal, melting point and boiling point gradually decreases from top to bottom, and for non-metal, melting point and boiling point gradually increases from top to bottom. Now, the change of melting point and boiling point for period, that means in period relation. Here also in period there is no regular change of melting point and boiling point. Here look, the melting point and boiling point gradually increases from sodium to silicon. That means the melting point and boiling point of magnesium is more than sodium, aluminium is more than magnesium, and silicon, it is more than aluminium. Though silicon is a non-metal, but its melting point and boiling point is the highest in this period, in the third period. But after silicon, there is phosphorus. So melting point and boiling point of phosphorus is less than silicon, because phosphorus is non-metal. Silicon is also non-metal, but silicon is exception, which we will learn in upper class. And after phosphorus, the melting point and boiling point of sulfur is again more than phosphorus. Why the melting point and boiling point of sulfur is more than phosphorus? Dear students, you know what is the molecular formula of phosphorus? There are 4 atoms in a molecule of phosphorus. That means the molecular formula of phosphorus is P4. And what is the molecular formula of sulfur? There are 8 atoms in a sulfur molecule. That means the molecular formula of sulfur is S8. Okay, so the melting point and boiling point of sulfur is more than phosphorus, because in one molecule sulfur there are 8 atoms of sulfur, but in one molecule of phosphorus there are 4 atoms of phosphorus. Now in one molecule of chlorine there are only 2 atoms, Cl2. So the melting point and boiling point of chlorine is less than sulfur and phosphorus. And argon, it is monoatomic gas. So the melting point or boiling point of argon is the least in this period. Look here. For this reason, the melting point and boiling point of sulfur is more than phosphorus. Here, the melting point or boiling point from sodium to silicon, it gradually increases, but it is less for phosphorus. Again, the melting point and boiling point of sulfur is more than phosphorus. Chlorine, it is less than phosphorus and sulfur, and argon has the least melting point and boiling point. There is no regular change in the melting point and boiling point of the elements of third period. Sodium, then magnesium is more than sodium, aluminium is more than magnesium, silicon has the highest melting point and boiling point of this period, then phosphorus less than silicon, but sulfur again the melting point and boiling point is more than phosphorus. Chlorine, it is less, and argon, it is the least. It has the least melting point and boiling point. Now, another periodic property, that is atomic radius. That means the radius of an atom, the size of an atom. Look, from here you will get the idea of the change of atomic radius. Everywhere from top to bottom, the atomic radius gradually increases, and in every period from left to right, atomic radius gradually decreases. What is atomic radius? Atomic radius means the size of an atom. Actually, atomic radius is the distance of nucleus and valence shell. radius. So the center point nucleus, the distance of nucleus and valence shell is called atomic radius. Atomic radius is also a periodic property. Now we will see the change of atomic radius in different group and different period. At first, group relation. This is the group relation where atomic radius gradually increases from top to bottom. It is very easy. Why it gradually increases? Look, for the first group, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, and after that there are rubidium, cesium, francium. For hydrogen, there is only one shell, 1s1. For lithium, there are how many shells? 1:2, 2s1. That means there are 2 shells. For sodium, there are 3 shells. For potassium, there are 4 shells. And when we will go from top to bottom, then every time one shell is increased. For rubidium, there are 5 shells. For cesium, there are 6 shells. And for the last element of group 1, francium, there are total 7 shells. That means when we will go from top to bottom, one shell is increased every time. That means the distance between nucleus and valence shell is increased, resulting atomic radius is also increased. So what is the group relation? In the same group, atomic radius gradually increases from top to bottom. Why? Because in the same group, one shell is increased. That means for group 1 or for every group, same type of change. For group 1, the atomic radius of hydrogen is the least, then lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium has the highest atomic radius. In the same group, with increase of atomic number, one extra shell is added. So the distance between nucleus and valence shell is increased gradually, resulting atomic radius is increased from top to bottom. Now, the change of atomic radius in the same period. In the same period, atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. In the same period, atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. Just think one time. In the same period, for period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, for every period, there is no change of shell number. Look here. For period 2, there are lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Here atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. From lithium to fluorine, all they have 2 shells. There are 2 shells. But why the atomic radius is decreased from lithium to fluorine? Look, in the same period, with increase of atomic number, one electron is added on the valence shell. There are 2 shells, but for lithium there is only 1 electron on the second shell. For beryllium, there are 2 electrons on the second shell. For boron, there are 3 electrons. For carbon 4, nitrogen 5, oxygen 6, fluorine 7, and neon, there are 8 electrons on the valence shell. Just only electron is increased on the valence shell? No. With electron, one proton is also added in the nucleus. That means lithium has 3 protons in its nucleus. Beryllium has 4, boron has 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, and neon has 10 protons in its nucleus. That means the nucleus has more positively charged. So nucleus attracts the valence shell more for neon or fluorine or oxygen than lithium or beryllium. So when nucleus attracts the valence shell, resulting the radius becomes decreased. Look here, for the second period, the atomic radius of lithium is the highest, and neon, it has the lowest atomic radius. And same happened for the third period also. For the third period, all they have 3 shells, but there are 1, 2 to 7, or for argon there are 8 electrons on its valence shell, and also their proton number is increased from left to right. As a result, attraction also increased and resulting radius becomes decreased. So from sodium to argon, the atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. Look, why atomic radius gradually decreases. From here, you will understand. In the same period, with increase of atomic number, no shell is added. Because for every time their shell number is same. But one electron is added at the outermost shell. With electron, one proton is also added to the center. As a result, the nucleus attracts the valence shell more strongly, resulting the atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. There is no deviation. Atomic radius gradually increases from top to bottom and atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right. No exception is there. It is a regular change. Now, atomic radius of atom and its ion. At first, radius of atom and positive ion. For example, sodium and sodium ion. Look, when sodium becomes sodium ion, then one electron is released from here, and for every metal, when metal becomes positive ion, then its one shell is removed from there, but no change is occurred in the proton. Sodium has 11 proton, sodium ion has also 11 proton, but sodium has 11 electron which are configured in 3 shells, but sodium ion has 10 electrons which are configured on the 2 shells. So the radius of sodium ion is less than sodium. It is very easy. But the radius of chlorine and chloride ion. The radius of chloride ion is more than chlorine. Why? Because when chlorine becomes chloride ion, then no shell is reduced. Because chlorine, it has 3 shells. Chloride, it has also 3 shells. But difference is there. Chlorine has 7 electrons on its valence shell, but chloride has 8 electrons on its valence shell. Chlorine has 17 proton and chloride has also 17 proton, but it has 1 electron more on its valence shell, so attraction becomes comparatively less. So for the less attraction, the size of chloride is more than chlorine. So dear students, today up to this we had learned 4 periodic properties, metallic property, non-metallic property, melting point, boiling point, and atomic radius. The next 3 properties we will learn in our next class. So goodbye everyone. Thank you.